So this video will be about how to compose a YouTube video and how to make the audio work and so on. Basically, we're going to go to youtube.com/editor, and this will allow me to piece together all sorts of different video clips to make a larger video. So, this is the final product that I made. It's Healthy Starts Here. It's about 1.5 minutes long. And I made it by piecing together all of these little clips that I made, excuse me, that relate to health. So this has to do praying and reading the Bible, have to do with spiritual health for a Christian. This has to do with emotional health because it's ability to recover from something that's emotionally disturbing to you, like a crappy test grade. This is environmental health because it's talking about picking up trash. This is intellectual health because it's writing and stimulating your knowledge. Same with reading. And then, of course, there's physical health, and that has to do with running, meditating. Meditating could be considered spiritual health as well. Running, meditating, pull-ups, and push-ups. And so let's just start with praying, right? I took a video of me praying, which is kind of tacky, but you're going to put it here. I'm going to turn the volume down so you can see this. To fix, so this is a little bit grainy. To fix that, you can hit this auto fix option. You can also add brightness and contrast. You can determine how bright it's going to be by hitting this. That's way too bright because obviously you can't see me. Or you can make it a little bit darker, like that. I like it in the middle. I don't like it with brightness and contrast for this, so I'm just going to leave it on autofix here. And then, of course, there's pan and zoom, so this can make it, this makes a more dramatic effect. I don't really need a dramatic effect for this because it's just me praying. You can also stabilize the video by doing this. The further you go to the right, obviously, the more stable it is. The further you go to the left, the less stable it is. This can account for if you have a shaky video or like a shaky hand while you're taking it. You can also make this go in slow motion, which I don't need for this, but if you hit this, then you can go up to 8 times slow motion. So this will show really slowly the way I'm breathing and moving my lips, which I don't need. So I'm going to take it off slow motion and just leave it on auto fix. You can go to filters too. There's all sorts of different filters like there are on Instagram. You can pick a bright one like this. The thing is, if you're trying to keep the entire video the same, you're going to want to use basically the same filter, or it'll look kind of choppy when you piece them all together. You can add text to this video, which is what I did. On the bottom, I just entered spiritual health and then made the banner color the color I wanted, so you can make it any of these colors. The heights and the opacity. Opacity has to do with how opaque it is when you look at it for the title. And then you can control, of course, the size of the font here, the alignment, and everything like that. So if you enable text here, then you'll see how it goes right over what I'm doing. This is a bit big for me, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. Extra small is probably a little bit too small. The good thing about this too is that it gives you a preview, and we can center it here, which is what I decided to do. You can play around with the fonts if you want. And then we have the audio here. You can make the volume louder, pan, bass, and treble, of course. Since this isn't really music that I'm using so far, I'm not going to do this yet. But another handy option is that you can preview the side effects. You can preview the effects you did to the video by placing it side by side with the original, so you can watch the original and then watch it again and see if you want to make adjustments. So that's okay for this part of it. I'm going to now add the part where I am studying the Bible. Next to it, this also counts as spiritual health, which is why it's part of the Healthy Starts Here video that I made. Additionally, you can go in between here, right? And you can add different transitions. So if you want to transition it to there's all sorts of different ways to transition. So you can make it into some sort of, checker transition. You can make it swipe left, swipe right, and so on. I'm not going to go into that because it would take a lot of time, but so now we're going to piece together everything. This is the emotional health part that I was talking about before. Again, we can hit autofix here, and then we have me picking up trash. It's pretty attractive. And then we got writing. So as you can see, you can just really just drag this here. It's not too difficult to do. And then now we're going to go for the physical health part. So running, meditating, which can also be considered spiritual, pull-ups, and push-ups. So all these will seamlessly piece together. Now you can start from the beginning and hear all of it. Like, I'm going to turn the volume up so you can hear it. This volume up too.
Loving me and supporting me.
So there's that, and then this will transition into this one. This will start the whole thing again, so
Thank you,
just bear with me for a second.
Thank you for everything you've
This will
given
go
me
through
and
that.
provided me. Thank you for loving me and supporting me.
This is highlighting something in the Bible. Again, you don't have to read the Bible to be spiritual, but it's just an example. I'll do better next time. So as you can see, these all transition pretty well into each other. I can go ahead and stop the video to add text to them. So if I want to make a center title, I may also do that. What I like to do is a banner because I think that's more effective for what I'm trying to get across. So I can add this here, right in the middle.
Thank you, Lord, for this day.
And then, of course, make the text here. So if I wanted to, I could also write this here. And then enable text, and it'll go through and give you a preview. So obviously you're going to want to make this really small to fit it if you want to. I like to make it center aligned because that fits my purposes better. So what I'm going to do now is, now I've got basically all of this together where I can put all this text in and edit all of this accordingly. Now, what you want for a video is you don't want it to be quiet. You don't want it to be soundless except for hearing my voice because I'm sure my voice gets irritating. So you're going to add audio to it. We're going to go to the beginning. We're going to talk about audio here. So let's pick the music.
Thank you, Lord, for
this is basically how this works. So you can use copyrighted music, but it's a real pain in the ass because you have to go through every single channel. So like you have to get permission from people who make and produce these videos, and it's a process and you have to cite them, which is fine, but typically it's just easier to go through these tracks that you can cite, but you don't have to go through all the copyright business. So you can listen to a preview here. So this is kind of lame, but it's okay if you're just trying to find something to fit. Here's one called If I Had a Chicken. Not quite sure why it's called that, but if he had a chicken, I'm sure it would sound like that. Okay, so let's just pretend that I would like to use If I Had a Chicken. What I can do is I can drag this here, and then it'll play with the movie. So that's basically how to record and how to edit a video. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments.